All right, welcome back. It's early August 1862. So we'll start off in Virginia. Basically, Stuart's going to try to destroy the railroad in Morgantown and come over here to Summers and attack this Union force. We still have this pesky Union, partisan Union that's here we're trying to attack. Our partisan Union will try to destroy the railroad here before it moves on to attack. One thing that's a bit made a mistake is that there aren't a lot of forces in the Strasburg depot anymore, and well, there's only the militia unit. So if he may burn the depot, so we'll see what happens. Um, there is a partisan unit Culpeper, but I'm not going to worry about it because I don't have a lone cavalry force to attack it right now. One small change I'm making in the setup of the defensive line is Magruder's division is going to join Longstreet in Fredericksburg, and then General Hood will go back to Richmond, and once we're able to finish this large division, we'll form a division and fill it out. So meanwhile, Stuart will have to defend both Kent and Richmond if needed, which I think is actually doable. Here it is in Kentucky. We've made a second division with Johnston. General Ewell will try to destroy the road here, and that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it. Oh, actually, one other thing is this depot is rather lightly defended, so we'll try to destroy it. Wallace's corps came down with 3 divisions and has basically taken New Madrid. We still have a garrison in there, but it'll be captured this time. So I pulled it out to try to get, maybe if it's lucky it can escape, which is unlikely. So we don't really know what Wallace's intentions are. Meanwhile, we still have Jackson here, and Division Plus here. I am sending a brigade down to Memphis to join Dole's division. That we'll keep an eye on, of course, what Wallace is doing. Quantrill will go through Missouri, cross the river, and come up to here to, interesting, Mexico, Missouri. We'll try to destroy the railroad next turn. Our Indian unit, who will not be able to escape Springfield, since there's no longer a depot to destroy, will move to Vienna with the intention of destroying the railroad. Meanwhile, Waddy will retreat back to Leavenworth, take up the position. Van Dorn will take over in Lawrence, and I'm going to send Shelby to take Fort Smith. Our kind of long-term objective in this area is to be able to take Denver, and it's a ways away. It's actually up a little bit. Yeah, so here's Denver. So now that we've taken Santa Fe, we should be able to move north and move west as required to take Denver. Of course, we don't really know what is there. Ironclad told me he kind of forgot about Carson out west, which is easy to do. So it's important to pay attention out west to kind of see what is going on. Oh, great! So Baylor's stats have improved. He's now a 4.22. We'll try again to assault Valencia and take it. Of course, probably the most interesting aspect will be Grant's 5 divisions. They moved from Erie through Hermitage into Carthage, and they're moving towards Wayne Indian Territory. That is where we currently are. We are in Wayne Indian Territory and moving towards Fayette, Arkansas, having to take up the defensive position in Fayetteville. So we're going to arrive in 3 days. We still have defend, retreat, and evade combat. Okay, so that's pretty much the turn. Let's run the turn, and hopefully McCulloch's force will be able to get to Fayetteville in time. So the answer to the question of Grant and its 5 divisions is, or is it 4? Well, maybe 4 divisions. But they basically went to Springfield rather than continue to move on Fayetteville. So we are now in Fayetteville, and we'll be able to get organized in about one more term. We have a couple of generals coming. I'm probably going to give Anderson a division, who's a much better stats, and possibly move Price south to take over a small defensive position in Fort Smith. But really nothing much to say other than yeah, Springfield is the Union's, and it's actually really hard to get it back unless they more or less if there's a division there, it's really hard to get it back. You can see that over here with the division in Lexington. I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to attack it. There's nothing, of course there's a depot there, but it's not a strategic town. It doesn't really get you that much closer to St. Louis, which of course is the big prize in Missouri, but it's actually, at this point, there's so many Union forces in Missouri, it just isn't even realistic. Quantrill did come up here and take did make it to Mexico, and our Indian unit did make it to Vienna. You can see that we easily, actually, yeah, so the fort here has been destroyed, and we'll need to begin to move on out farther to begin to take these other forts. There is a lot of supply in these forts, so which is sort of good, but it's also sort of bad in the sense that I'm not really able to defend them. I mean, look at this is a massive supply, and the Union can use that to capture a supply and come on down. Of course, it is sort of in the wrong direction, but not not overly so, especially Fort Wayne. So if anything, I actually may want to destroy Fort Wayne, and that way there's not any forts right next to Fayetteville. That probably would be a prudent decision. So here's what it looks like in Mexico. It's actually a very successful turn. We took Valencia, and we'll show you the battles in a second. We've also taken Albuquerque. We've captured a battery. How did that work? Yeah, we've actually captured 2 batteries and a supply wagon. So Carson's force is gone, essentially. This is probably what's left of the forces, this volunteer brigade here. And there's also a unit here, but we're pretty much able now to be ready to move up farther north on to Denver. I don't know if we'll be able to get there before. I don't know if we'll be able to get there before winter comes on, but can at least begin to make some progress. Okay, good. They did not destroy the depot. We were able to destroy the railroad here and here. So again, the road is pretty much completely destroyed. And looks like Stuart will make it back before supplies get low. Oh, actually, it looks like the Union force has retreated. Oh, there it is. It went over to Harper's Ferry. And so you can see we have our new defensive position, Fredericksburg, which is very strong. And pretty much like historically, we more or less have we have McClellan, we have the Union force bottled up on the peninsula. They could move across the Chickahominy here and move on Richmond, but with I don't know, with 3 divisions, I don't really think that's going to be enough to do with Stuart's corps here. And we're pretty much firmly in control, for the moment at least, of Norfolk and Suffolk. So in all, a pretty good position. Let's take a look at the messages. A bunch of units trained. Our typical naval messages. Okay, so we were defeated in New Madrid, as we obviously expected, and Don't really understand that. Actually, Lawrence has now gone back. Oh, there's no supply here. Ah, okay. So he couldn't actually stay. He had to retreat because he looks like he doesn't have any supply wagons. Um, Here's what it looks like in Valencia. We The militia unit did a good job. It held out. I held out for a while. A lot of movement. Here is the big battle. This is probably the key battle of the turn. I guess Carson. I wonder if he left or if he may have gone off somewhere. But this is where the majority of we captured 500 prisoners, 200, 6-pound, 12-pound, and a supply wagon. And we captured the town, which doesn't have any supply for the moment, but makes a little bit of supply. Here's Carson's brigade. Oh, okay. So it came over here to. I'm just trying to think where. Oh, okay. So it actually went down, but then. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it looks like Carson's force is pretty much dispersed, and they're more or less gone. Like I said, the only thing that's left is that there's this mountain brigade here, which I think is from Carson's force. Here is Shelby defeating the two forces in Fort Smith, including the New Mexico cavalry, as you can see there. So took a few losses, minor though. Here was the final victory in Valencia. Okay, we have a bunch of forces that are ready. So let's see what the Union does. They've done war bonds. They've offered a small investment premium to attract new volunteers. We issued war bonds. We have General Buckner is now ready. Just nothing special though. He's a 311. Okay, so Island 10 has an epidemic, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so let me show you what the objectives look like. You can see we control, obviously, most of them. We do not control St. Louis and Louisville, which obviously historically were Confederate objectives. We are getting 55 points a turn. The Union is getting 44, so we're still getting about 11 more per turn, and we're almost up 2-1 on victory points. And Union's lost about 93,000 men. We've lost 52,000. So we haven't seen just absolute massive casualties yet in this game. Of course, that could come in 1863 once the Union gets its better generals and really has to start pushing overland somewhere if it wants to make progress. But for the moment, the Confederacy is pretty much holding fast with what it has, other than losing Springfield. We have actually been able to gain a lot in Kansas and then out west. Okay, see you next time.